Hunting in modded survival for 100 days. In this video, I'm tasked with hunting my friend FactionsFramed, who has to survive for 100 days in modded Minecraft. However, Frame will be in hardcore mode, so once he dies, it's completely over. This mod pack consists of guns and military vehicles to help me along the way to hunt him down. So if you do enjoy this video at any point, do consider subscribing. Also, go check out my friend Framed, who will be top link in the description for his perspective of getting hunted. On day 1, I started off by spawning in and taunting Frame for a bit to make him a bit on edge. Then I began by punching some trees, killing a few pigs and heading straight into the mine. After a while, I found a cave and mined there for a bit, which led me to getting full iron by the end of the first day. Day 2, I came up to the surface and grabbed a lot more wood by using vein miner, which really helped out a lot. Then I found a weird looking kind of structure and I decided to go check it out and take the loot from, as well as grabbing any blocks that looked cool and I could use on my base. So I did this for a while, found some weird scaffold blocks which I think would look cool, and then as well as that I found a bandit which I decided to kill and he gave me a cool gun. By day 3 I had found a cool location to set up camp and make a new base of operations where I'd be hunting Frame from. So I set up all my furnaces, chests and things like that and started mining down some trees, but unfortunately there was an accident with a creeper where he blew me off the edge and I died. But luckily I spawned close by and managed to retrieve all my stuff. So day 4 I started mining down into this mountain where I'd set up my base. So I started mining out the side of this mountain and it took me a while. I just kept mining and mining. Most of day 5 I just still spent mining on the actual base, but at one point when I went up to the surface I started getting attacked by a bandit out of nowhere, but he kind of just pinned me down and did a crap ton of damage. So he killed me, but I managed to come back and fist him to death. So yeah, it was good and I got a free gun out of it, so we'll take it. So after the event that just happened, I realized I needed some more powerful guns, so I went out and got some steel, as that's what you need for the better guns in the game. So I went back to this tower because it was actually full of steel, grabbed some steel, and then I went back to the base and saw what else I need for better armor, which was Spetsnaz, and I'd need a lot more wool for that, which I currently didn't have. On day 7, I managed to do quite a lot, as I made a farm for the sheep, which would be used for their Spetsnaz sets. I also made a farm just for wheat, just for eating, and I made a helipad for a helicopter that I made on that day. However, towards the end of the day, I got shot by a bandit and ended up dying. So at this point, I went into the mines, grabbed a bit of coal and a bit of copper, as it is useful for making other guns and stuff like that. Day 8, I decided it was time to start the hunt for Framed. So I got on a helicopter, got some fuel and fueled that thing right up. After a while, I actually found this weird kind of factory structure thing, which I decided to land at and go check out. Inside, I found a lot of cobwebs and some random chests everywhere. So when I looked in it, I found some weird items. So I just took them and hoped for the best. And then I also found a crate at the top of the factory, which had some really good stuff in it. Actually, it had a carpet bomber airstrike thing, and it also had a grenade, which I took because these all seemed like they'd be able to kill Frame. So I just took them. I also found a desert temple, which I decided to go in. Nothing really good in there, but I took the TNT as that's always handy to have, as I could blow Framed up. On day 9, I went back to the base and immediately there was a bandit there, so I decided to kill him instantly. And then I walked over to my sheep pen and noticed they weren't there, so I naturally assumed that Framed had come and actually killed my sheep. Another bandit came, he threw some sort of gas grenade which smoked out the whole place. Then on day 10, as I was leaving, I saw Framed actually on the trees and he started shooting my plane. I wasn't too sure at this point if he'd seen me, but I kind of tried to sneak up on him. And at this point, he definitely noticed me, so he popped his head around and actually almost killed me. I got down very low, and with the poison gas as well, I was dying rapidly. So I decided to hide and wait till he had gone. After this encounter with Framed, I realized it was really important for me to get better armor, as I died really quickly then. So I went back to this desert temple to get some wool, which was what I needed for Spetsnaz. And as you can see, there was a lot of mobs in here, so it was quite hard for me to defend off. But I just let the creepers blow up, and they managed to kill all the other mobs in there. So I was good from that. So after that, I just cleaned up all of the wool and grabbed as much as I could for my armor. Then I headed back home, and on the way, I found an island that kind of looked like a shoe, so I thought that was quite funny. I realized that you also needed string for this as well, so I had to do another trip out to actually get the string. So this time I went back to that factory that I found on day 4 or 5 to get the string from that place. So then when I got back home, I actually had enough stuff to create Spetsnaz armor. So now I've been upgraded and I went out looking for Framed again. Now I stumbled on this weird bunker kind of thing, and when I got there, I just had a look inside, and in there was a lot of weird stuff actually. I found a lot of parts for a missile, as well as 2 carpet bombs and a bunch of other stuff which I had no idea what it does, so I kind of left some of it. And I also found another secret chest in the other room, which was kind of cool. But yeah, there wasn't too much in here, so I decided to leave. On day 14, I actually spotted Framed in the middle of nowhere just mining. So I assumed he was living near here, and I was right. So I saw this really dodgy kind of looking mountain, and it was clearly his base. And I also found his helicopter flying right by it, so I followed his helicopter. He got out of it for some reason, I have no idea why. Got out of my helicopter and thought it would be a good idea to use one of my carpet bombs, as I have so many of them. But for some reason, nothing happened for a while. So Framed ended up just leaving. So I got on my own plane and tried to follow him. However, as soon as he'd left, the carpet bomb came in afterwards, which was really annoying. It came in like 5 minutes late, but oh well. I lost him, so I went back to my base. So I got back to my base on day 15. I saw that I didn't really have many supplies, so I actually went on a long mining trip all throughout day 16, 17, and 18. I went back to my base with a load of supplies. And when I was at the base, I was welcomed by a guy with a shotgun. So I came in and I killed him to take the shotgun off him, because the shotguns will come in really handy in close range against Framed. On day 19, I got back in my helicopter and ventured over to Frame's base, where I saw it last. So I went over there. Clearly it was a base, and Frame came at me instantly. I went on the mountain above him, tried to surprise attack him, but he clearly saw me way before because I was in a helicopter. So he kind of pushed me a bit, tried to kill me. I pushed him back down the hill. I think I was winning the fight for most of it, and I kind of tried to surprise attack him here from the trees, and I think it worked really well. And you can see here he got flung off the mountain, as well as myself actually. So I kind of pushed in onto him, but he had a shotgun which did a crap ton of damage. So I retreated a bit, took a lot of health, and he eventually got me. He flung me off the mountain and I died. Luckily, however, we agreed that we wouldn't take each other's stuff once one of us died. So on day 22, I got back there because it was a long trek from my base to his. So, and also as a leaving present, I sent him another one of those carpet bombs, which worked out really well. So I got back in my helicopter and went back home to get more explosives, as I knew I'd need a lot more to actually get into his base. So on day 23, I got back to my base and had a look to see what I'd need for more explosives. I looked up a gun called a small, which would come in really handy for actually blowing up his base and getting him out of that hole. So on day 24, I went out and actually got tons of materials for all of the bullets, which would include copper, sulfur, and stuff like that. Then on day 26, I had enough materials to actually craft the small, as well as tons of ammo, which needed TNT, which luckily I managed to get from that desert temple. Then on day 27, I headed back out to go back to the base, and when I got there, Frame was nowhere to be seen. So I went inside the base and actually camped it out for a couple of days, which led me on to day 28. And on day 28, there was a lot of movement, and I saw his name outside, and that was when I charged for him. I ran straight out and instantly sprayed for him. He clearly panicked instantly, so I got out my small and gave it a little test run. Now, I don't know how much damage this did, but it looked cool, so I'm assuming it was doing bits. Framed also had a new gun which looked kind of cool. Didn't do much damage, so that was okay. But yeah, we kept having a back and forth, and Frame managed to run back into his ground and got behind cover. But luckily with the small, I managed to get through all of his defenses with it. I did a poison bombing run, which didn't come in very handy for me, as I wanted to push him, but it looked kind of cool, so that's all that matters. So I pushed in, but the poison did a lot of damage to me, but he also had his shotgun, so I tried to stay a bit further back so he didn't actually hit me. But at this point, nothing was really happening, so I decided to charge in and see what I could do. He managed to come out with his shotgun and did a crap ton of damage to me. I got down to around 2 hearts here because of the poison gas as well. But I came around the side and actually surprised him from underneath, which got him stressed, and he could not get back into his base. So he kind of ran around, mined into a wall, and I kind of tried to wait for him. But I got jumped by a ton of mobs, and he managed to escape back into his house. Now at this point I was running out of bullets, and it was a bit dodgy, so I kind of tried to go in with the last bit of bullets that I had. He was prevailing inside, and he did a lot of damage to me, so I ended up leaving because I'd run out of materials and firepower to actually kill him while he was inside his base. So I ended up leaving on day 28. On day 29, I went out to go grab some more resources, killed some pigs, got some more sulfur and some more copper for all the bullets I need, and I also found this cool bunker on day 33, which I went in and explored. It was kind of weird. There was some bunk beds and a lot of cobwebs in there. But when I checked in the chest, I could see that Framed had already been there because there was dirt in the chest, and I'm pretty sure that's not normally in there. So I dipped because there was not much in there anyway. And from day 33 onwards, I was just hunting, looking for where Frame would be, because he clearly wouldn't be in that base any longer because I knew where it was. I stumbled across this spaceship wreckage or something which had a lot of steel in it, so I grabbed all of that and I went back to the base to get another pickaxe. And then when I came back, Frame was there actually collecting the rest of it. So I went in some small ammo and tried to kill him. So I came in with the AR, did a bit of damage, threw in a frag grenade, which looked cool. I'm not too sure if it did any damage though. But then I got hit with a sniper bullet, which clearly Framed had just made recently because he never used that before, and it did a crap ton of damage, so I kind of backed off for a bit. And then when I came back, he was leaving because he clearly didn't have enough ammo or something, but yeah, he just left. On day 37, I decided it was time for an upgrade from my little bird, so I used my iron to craft up an Apache, which would really help because it had a lot of guns on it, whereas my little bird literally had nothing on it. So I filled it up and stocked up with tons of ammo, which used up gunpowder and iron, but it was definitely worth it. And then on day 38, I started searching for Framed again, went out and hunted for him. For 2 days, I couldn't find anything, so I decided to go back to my base, and to my surprise, Frame was at my base actually trying to shoot down my Apache. This was time to put my new weapons to use, and they actually turned out really well, and they were quite handy. They would have been really effective if my aim was a bit better. Framed actually managed to do a bit of damage onto my Apache, so I had to repair it for a little bit, and Framed managed to get away in that time. So Framed had gotten his little bird and started running away from me. For some reason he landed again, which I don't know why he always lands. So I followed him down and lowered my altitude on the Apache. And I saw him and just barraged him with all the weapons that I had. He managed to get away because he kind of broke down my helicopter a bit. So I had to go and repair it, and in that time he'd vanished. So I took his little bird and started repairing my own. In that time, he actually came back with his own Apache, which I had no idea what he had. And he managed to actually destroy mine, which was short-lived for that Apache. Now, not much really happened for the next few days. I kind of just went mining for like 4 days, and then the rest I was just hunting. Because in this map, it's a 2K by 2K map. So there's a lot of hiding spots where Frame could go. And I was just searching for ages and ages. But on day 51, I found his Apache just sitting out in the middle of nowhere, so I went to investigate. Now, I immediately saw Frame, so I realized it was a time for a bit of payback since he literally just destroyed my Apache. So I shot down his Apache until it blew up and went back into mine, as he wouldn't be able to meet me in the sky. So now it was time for me to hunt him in the skies. So I just barraged him with a ton of missiles and stuff like that. But with the amount of trees, it was hard to see him, the Apache, so I went back on foot with my small and actually found him and blew him up a bit and lit him up with a ton of bullets. He tried to go back to my Apache, but I kind of shot him up, which directed him in a different direction so that I could get back into my Apache and so that he wouldn't take it. I then went back into the sky and in my Apache to see where he'd gone and actually scout him out. Around 10 minutes went past and I still couldn't see him, and then finally I heard a sniper shot and I managed to see him. So I just started firing upon him, and he was using the trees as cover, which was a really good idea, so I couldn't really hit him. So I got out of my Apache once more and went on foot. With there being so many trees, it was quite hard to track him down, but he actually surprise attacked me from being on the trees and he did a lot of damage to me. So I backed up with hardly any food. Then I also found him in a pond just in the middle of nowhere, so I kind of just tried to spray him down, along with some help from a bandit who actually turned on me and started backstabbing me and did quite a bit of damage to myself. Now I didn't have any food at this point, so I was almost dead as well from the bandits, so I got back into the Apache and decided I'd just rain fire from there on. And I was using all the different types of guns that this vehicle had. Now there was some pretty OP guns, but he was using the trees really well, so I had to refuel and resupply ammo, and in that time he'd actually disappeared. I looked around for quite a while to find him, but I couldn't see anything, so I went and got some food, as I was completely out of food and I was dying. For the next 4 days till day 56, I just spent mining. Now I don't want to show all of these clips because it just gets really repetitive from other clips in previous days, and it's just rinse and repeat to get more ammo. Now I didn't have my software recording running on day 58, but I got attacked by Framed in the sky while I was in my Apache, and my Apache actually ran out of fuel mid-air, which was the worst possible situation, and it went straight into the water. If it goes into the water, it completely blows up. So I went back to my base and grabbed a little bird. Now my plan here was to literally just ram Frame's Apache and try and blow him up with it. This was more of like a take him out with me. You know, if I go down, he goes down with me. He was really good at defending this. He kind of backed up while shooting at me, and he hit me a couple times, so I had to repair my little bird and go back out to try and ram him again. Now I got really close at some points, considering he was actually firing at me at the same time, and I just kept going for the ram and seeing if I could blow him up. However, I believe the Apache is slightly faster than the little bird, so he always got away, and he did a really cool trick here where he actually went backwards and then rained fire down on me. Now I decided to get on the side of my little bird and actually just spray my AR to see if that could do anything, but nothing really happened, and after a while he actually managed to shoot me down. Now after this event, I literally just got a new helicopter and started hunting for Framed once again, and by day 65 I had found his Apache. Now I got out and it seemed that he was in the bunker that I found from previous in these 100 days, and he was there. This was his new base, and I went down the ladders instantly to see what he was up to. Now this was going to be my chance. This was going to be my chance to end it. So I pushed him with all that I had, using my shotgun for close range and my AR as much as I could. Now we kept having a back and forth. I was staying around my corner, he was staying around his, and every so often we push each other. I kept using the shotgun as I believe it does a lot more damage than my AR was doing, so I just kept using that, and it seemed to be working really well. I was pushing him back. Now I got him really pushed back right back into the corner, so I was assuming he was really low here. So then I rushed into the main room with my shotgun. He actually came out with his own shotgun and shotgun me, which did a lot of damage, so I had to push back. There was a lot of back and forth, to be honest, on this fight, and this fight took ages. I was almost going to run out of ammo, and I had a full inventory of ammo. So here, Framed actually released a gas grenade in the tunnels, which was a horrible idea for him and myself, because then we wouldn't be able to get to each other and actually have a fight. So after a while of me just standing there waiting for it to clear, I just decided to go in for it. And boy, was that a mistake. My screen went black and I was taking tons of damage. So I decided to go back up, but it wasn't any good because I was taking 4 hearts per hit and I just died. But apparently, Frame got killed too. So here's our live reactions of what happened.
Hello?
So you
uh,
you died to gas.
uh, thing is, I had nuclear poisoning from something before,
Oh,
so
did you
I
die
was
to
I
that
was dead
combined with the
anyway.
gas?
Yeah, I was dead anyway.
Bro,
And
I
then
tried
I
to run through it to get to you, and it three-shot me.
that's
Oh
what I
no.
tried to do.
Oh, to get
I
to
tried to,
me?
to run to you. I was just went in spraying, trying to kill you while I was
Oh,
going down.
I was already dead. Because it doesn't
Yeah,
say in chat.
I broke the ladders and we just both died.
Bro, it doesn't say in chat when you died to gas, so you probably thought I
Yeah.
wasn't dead, but I already died
Yeah,
at that point.
I didn't know that you'd already died, so I just
I'd
ran in
already
trying to
died.
kill you.
Oh, GG. GG.
That's pop jump, that is.
It is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If we can hit 300 likes, then myself and Frame will do another one of these. Anyway, peace.